In 2004, Abdul was a young migrant from Bangladesh living in New York City. He was a full-time student, and to support himself, he drove a yellow taxi across the busy streets of Manhattan. One afternoon, while he was driving near the west side of Central Park, a TLC officer pulled him over. Abdul didn't have a passenger at the time. The officer walked up and said he wanted to inspect the vehicle to make sure everything was in good shape. He took Abdul's TLC license and then asked him to pop the hood so he could check the engine. Abdul opened the hood and watched nervously as the officer began inspecting the cab. And then something unexpected happened. A woman suddenly opened the back door and got inside the taxi. She said, "Driver, I need to go downtown, please." The TLC officer saw her climb in. He looked at Abdul, paused, and then said, "All right, you can go. You have a passenger now." Just like that, the officer closed the hood, handed back the license, and waved Abdul away without checking anything else. Abdul thanked him and drove off, dropping the woman at her destination. Weeks passed. Then one freezing night, after returning from college, Abdul realized something terrible. His TLC license was gone. It was snowing heavily, almost 3 feet deep. He searched everywhere, retraced his steps, dug through the snow, but the license was nowhere to be found. He panicked. Driving a taxi was his only source of income. Without that license, he was stuck. The next morning, he went to the TLC office to report it missing and request a new one. The clerk checked his TLC number, then looked up at him and said words that left him frozen. "Your license was suspended 6 months ago. You need to apply for a new one." Abdul was stunned. 6 months? He had been driving all that time, without knowing. If the officer at Central Park had checked that day, Abdul could have been in serious trouble. But he wasn't. Because at the exact moment Abdul needed help, a passenger had appeared out of nowhere, at the exact second, in the exact place, and changed everything. That day, Abdul realized she was not an ordinary passenger. She was sent for him. A reminder that sometimes we ask, "Where is God?" But God is always there. Sometimes He works quietly, sometimes through strangers, and sometimes through miracles we don't recognize until later. Abdul learned one thing that stayed with him forever.